Hi everyone, this is Morgan, and in this video I'm just going to offer an overview for the entire Fruit and Color project, both process journal and the final thing. So obviously this is just going to be really brief. You'll want to refer to each individual video for each process journal for a lot more information. But I'll just start by going through an example of a past student's work for Journal 1. And you can see the student has compiled their entire process journal into a PDF, and I'm just going to slowly scroll through. So this student chose to focus on an onion. So you can see they did a Google image search for onion and found lots of different types of images, some of single onions, cross-cut onions, onions in groups, the onion flower. And that's what you want. You want to get a range, and then they've also shown them at different scales, so at least 3 different sizes for each individual image. Moving on to their Journal 2 stuff, you're seeing a lot of the same basic images. The student has just practiced tracing. So these are actual tracings of those Google image found images of onions. And then the second part of Journal 2 is to use those found images to build compositions. Those compositions should have a distinct foreground, middle ground, and background and begin to create a sense of space, which hopefully you're seeing all of this student's work does do pretty well. So Journal 3 changes pace quite a bit. That process journal exercise asks you to build a color wheel and a tint, shade, and tone scale. This is one of the main ways that you get some practice working with paint and get a more practical understanding of color. So Journal 4 is your final process journal exercise for this one, and you're going to take the compositions you built in Journal 2 and you're going to basically paint in, either with real paint or digitally. You're going to basically treat that original composition like a coloring book and use it to practice these different color relationships out. So you can see the student has shown 3 digital paintings so far done in Photoshop. You need to do at least 1 physically painted piece. So this is the one the student designated for that. And then we're going back into digital paintings for their example of a split complementary color relationship and a triadic color relationship. So that completes the process journal work. I wanted to give you a sense of how the final is built. This is a really rough sense, but I'm going to re-show you this student's work for Journal 4 for their physical painted piece. So your final painting is made by taking one of your Journal 4 pieces and reflecting it 3 times. And to show you what reflecting it 3 times roughly looks like, here is this Journal 4 piece. Here's it reflected once, and here's it reflected 3 times. And if I compare that with this student's final painting, you'll probably see how they arrived there. So that's a very rough overview of this project. Again, please look to the individual videos for a lot more information, but thanks everyone.